All right. Audio check, audio check, audio check, audio check. All right. YouTube, I am back. Let's see if the audio works this time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if the audio works this time. All right. So I think we're good now. I see audio check, audio. All right. I think we're good. For anyone on YouTube, let me know if you guys can hear me now. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We just had a whole audio failure on YouTube. I was just about to get into some stuff. Can you? Okay, all right. Instagram, thank you for the wait. YouTube, they can hear me now, so we're gonna get into it. Link to purchase the student loan bankruptcy. Okay. Discharge. Discharge. All right, we are in business. So while some of you were sleeping, something happened, right? And the thing that happened is this. All right, let me get my notes and let's get back to showtime. All right, so the IRS is coming after tax returns. I'm going to say this again. You don't believe me? Go and look it up. The IRS and the Department of Treasury, they are coming after tax returns. If you have defaulted on your student loans, the IRS and the Treasury, they have joined forces and they are coming after your tax returns. So Americans with defaulted student loans may lose 2026 refunds. All right. How to stop so the program is called the Treasury Offset Program. All right, TOP, Treasury Offset Program. To stop this program, you need to discharge your student loan in a Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now, some of you are going to say, Daraine, you cannot discharge student loan in bankruptcy. That is not true. You can. There has been modifications to existing laws which now allows a borrower, meeting certain conditions, you are able to discharge the student loan under a Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, but you have to do a lawsuit within that bankruptcy. So let's say that you do a Chapter 7. Inside the Chapter 7, you have to file a special lawsuit for this program to work. It has an 87% success rate. So what does that mean? For every 100 people that does this program, 87 people are successful in doing it. All right. So if you have federal student loans and you're in default, the Treasury can legally seize your 2026 tax refund. That is not something I'm making up. They can do it, right? So I'm talking your regular refund. They can take your child money. They can take your earned income tax credit. They can take your child tax credit, right? These are the types of taxes or refunds that they can take. So there's actually 4. So your regular refund, state, federal, your child money, whatever that is, your earned income tax credit, and your child tax credit. These are the ones they can take. Yes, they can take it all, right? So most people don't find out until they check the refund tracker. So a lot of people, you're going to file your taxes. A lot of you are going to file your taxes, and then you're going to be like, I wonder why I haven't received my taxes yet. And then you're going to be like, oh, it's going to come next week. And then next week never comes. And then you're going to go on the refund tracker. And then you're going to see the word offset. And now, when I say the word offset, I'm not talking about the Migos. All right. When I say the word offset, I'm not saying offset from the Migos came and take your tax refund. I'm talking about offset from the IRS and the Treasury. They came and took your refund, not offset from the Migos. All right. So let's get that part clear. Offset from the Migos did not take your check. The IRS and the Treasury did. So tonight I'm going to teach you how this tax refund seizure works, how to protect your refund before you file, and the part nobody's talking about, how can you use bankruptcy to discharge student loans debt permanently, right? Let me get some water, guys. Let me get some water. Don't run away. Your boy's getting some water. Whew, all right. All right, got some water. I'm back. Don't judge me. Y'all don't want me to be talking to y'all and then I'm thirsty and then no. Let me drink some water. A brother needs to be hydrated, okay? All right. Let's get back. All right. So some of you might be asking, who's this live for? This live is for people who haven't paid student loans in years, people whose loans are in collections, people who are defaulted and stressed, parents who depend on refunds every year. So if this is any of y'all, then this live is for you. So there is a federal collection system. It's called the Treasury Offset program. All right. So the offset in the program is to offset whatever balance has been there. They're going to use your taxes to offset it. That's basically what they're saying. Right. So here is what TOP does. So when the government says you owe a delinquent debt, like defaulted federal student loans, TOP matches that debt against money you're supposed to receive from the government, right? Like your tax refunds. So what happened is you file your taxes, IRS approves refund, Treasury intercepts your refund and applies it to the loan before you ever touch it. All right, so let's let's put this in perspective, right? So I'm the IRS. This is you. This is the Treasury, right? So you put in to file for your taxes, all right? IRS approves it. So IRS approves your, they approve your tax return. Now, they're going to process it, do whatever they're supposed to do. But before you get that money, the Treasury says, oops, nope. The rain owes us some money. So we're going to take this refund. We're going to apply it over here on the student loan, and Doreen will never get a chance to defend that money. So for those of you who think you're going to get a tax refund this year, I urge you to think again. If you have been defaulted, or if you have defaulted student loans, I promise you, the IRS and the Treasury, they have plotted on your tax return. So that vacation you were talking about, going to Greece, that vacation to Thailand, going to Jamaica to river raft, when you know you shouldn't be river rafting because they're watching what y'all are doing at them tax returns, you're there shaking it, making it rain in the club, and you owe that student loan debt. Guess what? the IRS and the Treasury, they are coming for your tax returns. Okay? So, and so let's talk about what happens. So you file your taxes, the IRS approves the refund, Treasury intercepts it, and they apply to the loan before you even touch it. And here's the part that most people hate. They don't need a judge. They don't need to sue you. This is an administrative collection, and best believe Uncle Sam will get the money. Now, let's address the biggest misunderstanding. People tell themselves, my refund is mostly child tax credit, excuse me, and earned income credit. They can't touch it. No, they can touch it and they will take it. So if your refund is intercepted, the offset can seize the refund, and that refund includes refundable credits, child tax credits, earned income credits. They can take it all. Taxes, they can take it all, right? So earned income tax credit, child tax credit can be swallowed up. It's gonna like your income. So it's like refund, nope, swallowed up. It's been swallowed up by the IRS. It has been swallowed up by the Treasury. It has been intercepted. It has been swallowed up, right? So now I want to give you updates so that you're not confused. So as of January 16, 2026, go and research this stuff for yourself. All right? I did my research. Go and do your research yourself. Right? So as of January 16, 2026, and January 16 is today. All right? So as of January 16, 2026, reports say the Department of Education is pausing involuntary collections, including wage garnishment and tax refund seizures for defaulted student loans for now. So somebody's going to say, woo, I just got a break. Guys, if you know anything about this government, you should know they're coming for this money. Whether you want to believe it or not, they are coming for this money. They're coming for it. So, it does not mean that you're safe. Most of you are going to say, well, Daraine, they've paused the tax seizure for now. Yeah, they may pause it for now, but it's going to resume, right? So that doesn't mean that you're safe. That doesn't mean that just means that there's a window, right? And my job right now is to teach you how to use that window to protect your refund and eliminate the debt, right? So let me say it like this. Refund seizure is the symptom, right? So there's an obvious problem, defaulted student loan. Refund seizure is the symptom. Default is the disease. Debt discharge is the cure. Most people still don't believe that it is possible to discharge student loans in a bankruptcy. A lot of people don't know that it's possible. How many of you knew, or how many of, if you know that bankruptcy can be discharged, not bankruptcy can be discharged, if you know that student loans can be discharged in a bankruptcy, let me see you drop a me in the chat. I want to know how many people knew that this was possible. How many people knew that you can actually discharge student loan debts in a bankruptcy? Let me see how many people knew that. How many of you knew that you can now discharge student loan debts in a bankruptcy proceeding, Chapter 7 or Chapter 13? How many of you knew that? Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. So everybody's quiet. How many of you knew, or how many of you know, that you can discharge student loans permanently in a bankruptcy proceeding, a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. How many of you knew that? All right, I'm going to take your silence that not many of you did. All right, cool, no problem. I'm here to educate you and point you to the resource. So, refund seizure is a symptom, default is a disease, and debt discharge is a cure. So, you can play defense and keep reacting every year, or you can play offense and remove the weapon completely. Trinidad Monday at the place, Wagwan. What's going on, brother? All right. So before filing taxes, you need to call TOP, right? You need to call them, the Treasury Offset Program. Call the Treasury Offset Program. For those of you that wants the number, it's 1-800-304-3107. So that's 1-800-304-3107. That's the Treasury Offset Program. This system will tell you if you are on the offset list and who to contact. It's very important that you know who you need to contact. All right. This is called dial before you file. Now, if you don't call and you file first, your refund could be gone before you even know where you're in default. All right. So if you want me to put together a number on the screen, well, you guys can take notes. I don't think you need me putting the number on the screen. 1-800-304-3107. All right. Treasury Offset Program. It's an automated line. All right. Now, if you call and you're on the list, you have two immediate solutions. Option A, rehabilitation. This is where you make an arrangement and a set of payments to exit default. Option B, consolidation. This is the fastest exit. You consolidate and default clears, right? So both of these are defense strategies. They protect your refund, but they do not eliminate the debt permanently. So there's three factors that we need to consider, right? Option A, option B, and option C. Option A, which is a rehabilitation, puts you on a set of payments, therefore taking you to default. Your tax refund is safe. Consolidation. Consolidation is an agreement where you consolidate the student loan and the default clears. These are temporary solutions. These are not permanent solution. Permanent solution would be discharging the student loan in a bankruptcy proceeding. Okay? That's a permanent solution. Oh, and by the way, I wrote a book on how to discharge student loans in a bankruptcy. So if you're on Instagram, comment the word bankruptcy. If you're on Instagram, not bankruptcy, comment the word student loans. If you're on Instagram, comment the word student loans. If you are on YouTube, comment the word student loan. And I have a link at the top that I pinned at the top. So you are able to use that link to get the guide how to discharge student loans in a bankruptcy. All right. So for those of you that wants the guide on how to do it, if you're on Instagram, just comment the word student loan. If you're on YouTube, just comment the word student loan and the guide is right there. All right. Let's go now. So this is where the game changes. Most people think student loans can never be discharged, and this is true. A lot of people think that. Well, guys, the laws have changed, and it's not true anymore. There was once upon a time where that was true. Once upon a time, you could not discharge student loans in a bankruptcy. Now you can. It's not like before. You actually can do it now, right? So the Treasury Offset Program happens because the government believes you're trapped in repayment forever. Now, bankruptcy is where you flip the script because now you get to force the issue in court, right? So when you file bankruptcy, student loans are not automatically discharged. To discharge student loan, you must file bankruptcy, then file a separate lawsuit in the bankruptcy. Now, earlier I explained this, right? Bankruptcy alone, the chapter 7, the chapter 13, that alone does not discharge the student loan. There's another lawsuit that you have to do inside your chapter. So if it's a chapter 7, if it's a chapter 13, you have to file another separate lawsuit inside of the current chapter in order to get the student loans discharged. It's not I'm just going to file a chapter 7 or a 13 and then the student loan disappears. No, you have to file another lawsuit within that respective chapter for the student loan. All right. And inside the proceeding, you must prove a few things, right? And one of the things that they look for is called undue hardship. Now, what is undue hardship? Courts usually use a hardship test. Most states follow the Berner test, which looks at three things. The three things that the Berner test looks at: can you maintain a minimal standard of living if forced to repay? That's one. Two, will the hardship likely continue? That is two. And three, did you make a good faith effort to repay? These are some of the things that they are looking for. Now, the court is asking, are you broke right now? Will you stay broke? Did you try? Like, that's basically what they're asking. Are you broke? Did you stay broke? And did you even try to make any payments? That's what they're looking for. So let's see. Where are we on my notes? All right. Now, here's the part that makes this very special. So in November of 2022, the Department of Justice, the Department of Education created new guidelines. So for those of you that's thinking that this has been going on for a while, it's fairly new. This happened back in 2022, right? So the government is no longer automatically trying to block every discharge. There is now a process where debtors can complete so this is called an attestation form, attestation, attestation form, whatever you want to pronounce it, tomato, attestation form to support hardship. And the Department of Education provides info on the DOJ, to the DOJ attorney handling the case. So the guidance exists specifically to make cases more considerate, consistent, and fair. So you gather the facts, complete the attestation, and the government may stipulate and agree to discharge full or partial. Now, bankruptcy used to be a brick wall for student loans. Now there's a doorway, and most people don't even know. Like, I asked this before. How many of you knew that you can now discharge discharge student loans now using a bankruptcy proceeding? How many of you knew that you can discharge student loans using a bankruptcy proceeding? Most people don't know that student loans can be discharged through a bankruptcy proceeding, whether you're doing a chapter 7, whether you're doing a chapter 13. It can get done. It can be discharged permanently. So what's going to win your case in the bankruptcy evidence checklist? Proof of income, expenses, medical condition, disability documentation, job situation, repayment history or attempt to pay, dependence proof, housing instability proof, denial letters, stuff like that. You need evidence, right? So let me connect the dots here one last time. If you're in default, your refund can be seized, wages can be garnished, benefits can be taken. I am not asking you, I am telling you this can be done. Right? Bankruptcy is how you remove the debt weapon permanently. The student loan debt you are carrying for years around your neck can be discharged. This can be discharged, ladies and gentlemen. You can discharge student loans. Right? So, because once the loan is discharged, there is nothing left to offset, then your refund is safe. So, for the IRS coming after your income tax, student loan debt, guys, this is real stuff. This isn't something I'm making up online. This is real. And for those of you that bear the burden of student loans, you know the cost of those student loans. You've been dragging this for years. You've been in consolidation. You've been in rehabilitation. You paused student loan. You've done so much to see if you're able to get rid of these student loans. Well, guess what? There's a solution. The solution to get rid of your student loans is through a bankruptcy discharge. The first thing somebody's going to say is, Dwayne, I don't know how to do it. Yes, that's why I wrote a whole book on it, so you can use the book. Use the book, go discharge the student loan, and go about your life. Right? So if you're on Instagram, comment the word student loan. If you are on YouTube, comment the word student loan. I have a pinned link right there that has the book. Go and get it. Run the play. I'm not going to be here too long, guys. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to go get me some sleep. Now, let's see. Is there anything that I left off? Nope, I think we're all good. Guys, I'm going to call it a night. I need to get some sleep. Tomorrow, we'll be back. We'll talk more about discharging student loans through bankruptcy. It is possible. Go and tell your friends. You can discharge student loans through a bankruptcy proceeding. All right? You can do it. It's a legitimate thing. Go do your research. I'm not an attorney. Go do your research, but it is possible to discharge student loans through a bankruptcy. All right? So that's going to be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The link is there. Everything is there that you need. Have an amazing night. I will see you guys tomorrow.